So our culminating project for Long Way Down is going to be a one-pager. This one-pager should be completed on a piece of printer paper. And if you're in person, you can turn in your one-pager to me on paper. But I'm also going to have you guys submit it digitally so that, those of you that are at home can turn it in as well. So, Long Way Down, one-pager final project. So, a one-pager is an analytical, creative, and written response to a novel that completely fills one side of a piece of paper. For your one-pager, you will want to focus on the big ideas from the novel, including theme, symbolism, conflict, tone, and motifs, as well as any literary devices and elements. So, let's look at our required details. So filling the entire page with color and text. There should not be any blank or white space. You guys kind of had some practice with this with your Move to Freedom project with a one-pager, but this is really going to be taking it a step further. There should not be any blank and empty spaces. White background against text is okay. You should clearly be labeling elements of your one-pager. It should have the title, author, and genre on the paper, and you should incorporate this element as creative as possible. Don't just list it up at the top. I do have an example at the end of this that I'm going to show you. And then you have to complete the grid by connecting 4 elements together. So connect 4 boxes. You can connect these boxes vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. So that means you can go this way, you can go this way, and you can even go, well, it's not going to let me highlight it, but you could even go this way, okay? So quotes is a big one that you're going to see here. So pretty much no matter what way you go, you're going to have to do this one. So quotes. Write 3 meaningful quotes and explain the significance of each quote. What does it infer, symbolize, suggest, relate to? If you'll notice up here, all quotes need to be cited in, you guessed it, MLA format. So at the end of that, there should be the page number. Questions. Write 3 big picture questions that look at how and why. Answer each question thoroughly with a cited and explained quote. Images. At least 3 images that represent the book's theme, symbols, characters, conflicts within. Label your images. Song. Find song lyrics that connect. Write the specific lyrics, include the song and artist, in a 2 to 3 sentence explanation of how the song relates to the book. We've got images again here. Timeline. This is a different one. So timeline. Create a timeline with 10 critical events. The timeline must be linear or follow the plot diagram. So plot, we covered at the beginning of the year, so you would need to follow kind of that plot pyramid if you choose to do it in this direction. So you would need to have the exposition, the rising action, the climax, falling action, and then the resolution. Each event must be a complete sentence. That's going to go whether or not you do linear, based on a timeline, or following that plot diagram. Quotes we've covered, questions we've covered. Setting is a new one. Setting. Illustrate a setting from the book. The illustration must be accurate, detailed, and in full color. Provide 3 quotes from the book to support this specific illustration. We've got images again here, questions, quotes, questions, quotes. Here's a new one, figurative language. Identify and illustrate 3 examples of figurative language. Each example must include the quote, an illustration, and a 1-sentence explanation. So, it's going to kind of vary on what you do, but remember, you have to connect 4, however you choose to do it. And it can go this way, it can go horizontally, or you could go vertically this direction, or vertically this direction. But those are really your only options, okay? You can't just pick the 4 corners. That's not going to work. They actually have to connect. I would ask that you maybe change the color or highlight the ones that you choose to do, just to make it easier for me to see. So this sheet right here is your brainstorming checklist. So use this paper as a checklist to make sure you have every element complete. So is your entire page filled with color, images, and text? Every element is clearly and neatly labeled. My one-pager includes the title, author, and genre. All of my quotes are properly cited. I included, cited, and thoroughly explained my 3 quotes. I included 3 big picture questions that ask how or why type questions, and I've thoroughly answered those. I included and labeled 3 illustrations. I included my figurative language, setting, timeline, song, element. My handwriting is neat and legible. You have included and labeled 3 illustrations that connect to the book. You've included your figurative language, setting, timeline, or song element. This is really kind of the one that's going to vary depending on which direction you've connected the chart. And then your handwriting is neat and legible. So then you can use this chart as a brainstorming chart to fill in your quotes, your big questions that you're asking. Images, you don't have to draw them here. You could just kind of quickly write down what you think your images are going to be. And then this is the place for you to brainstorm that 4th element that could be figurative language, setting, timeline, or song. Your rubric is here. It will also be loaded into Schoology for you so that you can go over it. You'll see that this is worth 150 points. And then here is an example. So this is not quite an exact replica of what you're looking for. This is an older example, but it's kind of going to give you a pretty good jumping off point. So you'll see that you've got not really a whole lot of empty space. You'll see that there are quotes and stuff in here. There's themes of revenge. You've got your quotes that are right here that are cited correctly with the last name. Images that kind of relate to the book. So this is just kind of, like I said, a jumping off point. This is definitely by no means the only example, but it's a good place to start, right?